Good evening, this is Gabriel Jackson, and welcome to BJC Mitzvah Day, using the Sefer HaChinuch, Mitzvah number 28. A Mitzvah Day keeps your soul on its way. We are plowing through all 613 mitzvahs according to the parshas of the Torah. And this is found in Exodus, Parshas Yisro, the prohibition to bow to an Avodah Zarah, to idol worship. And once again, we're dedicating the mitzvah for the merit of our Israeli soldiers, the Jewish people in Israel, the citizens, those who are injured, safety, the eradication of the evil in this world, the quick release of all the hostages, and for the elevation of the souls of those who are innocently murdered. Here we go. Once again, the prohibition to bow to an Avodah Zarah, an idol. We are commanded not to bow down to an Avodah Zarah, a false god. And the term Avodah Zarah is defined as any entity that is an object of worship other than the one God, blessed is He. As it is stated, you shall not bow down to them and you shall not worship them. Folks, get other people involved. We're learning mitzvahs. You're going to learn all 613 mitzvahs. Don't do it alone. Get your friends involved. Come on, it's only 3 minutes a day. The Chinuch focuses on the precise meaning of this verse, which juxtaposes, you shall not bow down to them, and you shall not worship them. The correct explanation of this verse, which juxtaposes bowing with worshiping, is not that one should not bow for the sake of worship, which would lead us to deduce that bowing alone without the intent to worship is not prohibited. This cannot be the meaning of the verse, for it is stated elsewhere in the Torah, for you shall not bow down before any other God, which prohibits the act of bowing itself under any circumstances. Rather, the Torah juxtaposed the phrase, and you shall not worship them, with the phrase, you shall not bow down to them, to tell us that bowing is one of the primary methods of worship. There are additional verses that teach that 3 other acts are also considered primary methods of worship. Thus, we learn from here, along with the supplementation of those other verses, that there are 4 forms of worship regarding which the Torah objects to their being performed for any Avodah Zarah in the world, any idol worship in the world. Meaning that even if the usual manner of worship for the Avodah Zarah is not one of these 4 acts, one is liable for performing any of them, and one of these forms of worshiping is bowing. The underlying purpose of this mitzvah is known to all. Obviously, there's one God. He's the only one we bow to. The laws of this mitzvah include, for example, the definition of what is considered bowing. That is, whether one transgresses only by prostrating oneself with arms and legs extended on the ground, or whether one transgresses as soon as he bends down and presses his face into the ground. Also included is the requirement instituted by the sages to distance oneself from even appearing to engage in this matter, i.e. bowing to an idol. An example of this requirement is that which the sages said in the tractate of Avodah Zarah, that if a thorn became embedded in one's foot for one's money, or one's money became scattered before an Avodah Zarah, for an idol, he is not allowed to bend down and take them, i.e. remove the thorn or gather the money, because he would appear as though he is bowing to the idol. These laws and the additional details of this mitzvah are elaborated in tractate of Avodah Zarah. This mitzvah applies in every location and all times to both men and women. One who transgresses this prohibition and bows down to any Avodah Zarah in the world, any idol, or he slaughters an offering or burns an offering or pours a libation or sprinkles the blood of an offering before it, is subject to the following penalties. If he transgressed intentionally, but there were no witnesses, or he was not forewarned that this act carries the death penalty, he is liable to kares, we said spiritually cut off, or dying young, below 60, or losing a person's children in their lifetime. If he transgressed in the presence of witnesses and was duly forewarned, he is subject to the punishment of execution by stoning through the court, based in. And if he transgressed unintentionally, he is liable to a chatas offering, a sin offering. The elaboration of the laws regarding liability to the punishment is found in the 7th chapter of Tractate Sanhedrin, and that concludes this mitzvah. To respond to future mitzvah, 36 100 of the gold. See you tomorrow.